If you're looking to master the PAS copywriting framework and improve your powers of persuasive writing, this video is for you. I'm Dom, your copywriting friend, and I'm here to talk about the PAS framework. What is it? What are the benefits of using it? What are some examples? And can you show me how? All the answers for that and more here. So let's jump on in. Okay, so what is the PAS framework? So PAS stands for problem, agitate, solution, right? So let's break each one of those down. Problem. So this is where you introduce the viewer to a problem. Um, there are different parts of a funnel, the top of the funnel versus like a bottom of the funnel, where the problem might be a little bit more clear. For example, top of the funnel is where no one knows about you or your product or the problem, right? If you were here trying to get people's attention, you may say something like, do you have this problem? Or is this an issue you're struggling with, right? Whereas if you're at the bottom of the funnel and people understand and know about the problem, you may say something like, is this thing impacting you in this way? Is not having proper email marketing causing stress and overwhelm in your life, right? So those are examples of problems. Other examples of problems, you can ask questions, you can make statements, you can talk about pain points or frustrations that people have. You can start with stories, you can start with troubling statistics. But the thing that you want, like your goal, I guess, in the problem section of the PAS framework, is you want people to say, like, basically one of three things, right? So you want them to either say, yes, that is absolutely me. I do have that problem, right? Yes. No, I do not have that problem. That is not me, right? Um, in most instances, they'll click off or go away if they don't have that problem, and that is okay. That is a desired thing that you want. And the third thing is they may say, that's someone I know, in which case they may not, like, they may continue with the ad or email, but more than likely what they'll do is send it to that person that they know. And all three of those reactions, they're all good. Each one of them is a good reaction because they pull in the audience that you're looking for, the people that this is for, who they identify with the problems. They'll immediately identify with those problems, and the people who don't, they will move away and they'll make more space for the people who do. So that's the problem section. The next section is the next section, A, agitate. And what you want to do with that is to show, like, the benefits or advantages or effects or disadvantages or what you could lose from this problem, right? So, so again, the name of the part of the framework is A, or agitate. So you can take that problem that you clarified in that first part and make it more of a problem in this second part. So let's say your problem is, I don't know, weight loss. That's a really, really solid example, right? So a problem may be, are you struggling with losing weight? If I wanted to agitate that, I may say, do you want to continue struggling to fit into your jeans? Do you want to continue struggling with, I don't know, your thighs rubbing together, or feeling uncomfortable in every outfit you put on? right? So see how I'm agitating this problem of weight loss or problems that someone would have with weight loss, things that you can do to further agitate a problem. You could do like an emotional, like tell an emotional story of how things can get worse, kind of how I did. Um, you can provide statistics on how the problem affects people negatively. Like if I had said something like, this is just a made up statistic, that 70% of overweight people end with this negative result, right? That they feel insecure about themselves, or they have this other negative reaction. So I would use emotional tellings and things like that to further irritate the problem, to agitate it, right? So when you do that, it kind of creates like a cognitive dissonance, like it creates like a kind of an uncomfortable state, like a state of discomfort. And when people are in that state, they naturally try to figure it out. Like they try to get back to a place that's more comfortable. Cognitive dissonance is kind of like, well, it is in essence a problem for the brain. And when the brain is presented with issues or problems, it just like comes up with solutions, right? I don't know if you noticed this, but I definitely noticed this with myself. Whenever I'm having a problem, I'll stop thinking about the problem and my brain will just naturally come up with solutions. Or if I start thinking about the problem really hard, I'll also come up with a bunch of solutions. Oh, I can try this, I can try that. Oh, well, this didn't work. Maybe if I try this, maybe if I try that, right? The brain is designed to just come up with solutions. So when you use that cognitive dissonance, you create that problem the brain naturally wants to solve for it, right? So then that leads the person to keep reading. And when you're doing the agitating part, the goal of this section is you want to get people to say, yeah, absolutely. This sucks, and I got to figure out how to solve this or figure out something better to do before it gets worse, before all of those things in that agitate section come true. And that's definitely not what I want. Okay, and then so that leads us into the third part of the framework, the solution. This is where you like put your product, you put your service, you put whatever you do um, as the solution to the problem that you stated and agitated, right? So, going on with that weight loss example, right? So, are you having issue losing weight problem? Do you hate when your thighs rub together, or do you have issues feeling comfortable in whatever you're wearing, or do you have trouble trying things on when you're at the store and want to feel better about the way you look? Agitate. Solution would be get our gym training coaching sessions and we'll get you into your perfect size in 20 sessions, and then we'll work with you every week to make sure we keep the weight off. So if I were a gym owner and or a gym coach who helped people solve their weight loss problems, that would be us like that would be a way I could position my solution as the solution, right? So problem, agitate, solution. Oh, and of course, for the solution, the goal is you want people to say, yes, that will solve my problem. That's a perfect solution, right? So that's the framework. What are some of the benefits of using this framework, this PAS framework, right? So, first, this can be done with long or short copy, right? So, that example that I gave, that was very short, right? I could condense that down and I could make that a tweet, right? Have problems with weight loss, don't want to make it get worse. Here's the solution. I can make that a tweet. I can make that a post, right? I could make it a little bit longer. I can make that an email. I can make it even longer. I could make it a blog. I can make it an article. So that this framework works for short copy and long copy, right? This framework, I really feel like this framework is very engaging and also very versatile, right? So engaging with that problem at the beginning. Hey, do you have this issue? And right then it's either yes, no, somebody else. And that's pretty much it. There's not very much thinking about it, which surprisingly is very engaging because when people have to think too much at the beginning of reading things, listening to things, they tune out. They any kind of resistance that their brain sees, sorry, any issues their brain perceives before they like identify that the problem is like that this thing is talking about them, they're gonna tune out. People are have tons of like marketing messages all the time. So really they're trying to filter out information. So most people are thinking about, what is it? What's in this for me? What can I get out of this? So if you make them think too hard about what they will get out of it, then they will just move on. And I know that kind of like is a little bit of a juxtaposition from what I said about earlier or from agitate earlier, because you do want to kind of create a like an uncomfortable feeling for them, but you want them to understand what you're talking about first. You want them to understand the problem first before they get irritated or agitated, right? So yeah, I think that it's very engaging in a weird way, and it's very versatile. So the example I gave was like a weight loss example. I could do examples in email marketing. I could do examples in gardening, in pretty much anything. Like that framework is pretty solid no matter what industry you're working in, no matter what content style, no matter what content platform you're working on. I feel like the PAS framework is a pretty safe bet. Like that's one that you definitely want to have in your tool belt, very very tight, very secure. Okay, another benefit of the PAS framework, like it's super easy to remember. PAS, problem, agitate, solve. Like 3 letters. And because it's so easy to remember, that means it's super easy to learn. So then it's super easy to execute. So you wouldn't necessarily have to, after you figured out what the PAS framework is, you may not have to go to Google and type in what is the PAS framework every time you want to use it. It'll be simple, it'll be easy to use, it'll be easy to remember, so it'll be easy to execute and use. And then lastly, I think this is a benefit. Some people may not feel like this is a benefit. Depends on who you ask. But a benefit from my point of view is that this framework is pretty popular. So a lot of people know about it. It's a very solid framework. But even though people know about it, like that doesn't, for me, that doesn't diminish the usefulness of it. That doesn't diminish the, I don't know, the elegance of this framework. Honestly, I think it strengthens it. I think because so many people know it and because it's so easy to use, because it's so universal, can be used in all these different places, like I think it's hands down one of the best ones to use. Some people may say that it's not because everyone knows it, so it's easy for anyone to use, but I think it's awesome. And if you have an email list and you're looking for a professional copywriter to get rid of that overwhelm for writing emails day after day after day and figuring out what to say, check the description. I can help you out. Okay, so let's get into some examples of the PAS framework. And I am actually looking at an article from 2023. I believe the creator's name is Elias Ism. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced that, but I'm going to leave a link to this article at the bottom. There's some pretty cool PAS examples here that are like really short and easy to understand. I saw this like a year ago and, held on to it. It was in my Notion. It was in my Notion file of things I wanted to remember later, and I saw it and I want to show it to you. Or, I'm sorry, to tell you about it. So I'll just read a couple of the examples. So, one for a meal delivery service. The problem: too busy to cook healthy meals, agitate, eating out frequently can be unhealthy and expensive. And the solution is our meal delivery service provides nutritious, chef prepared meals right to your doorstep. So simple. PAS. Okay, and then another one, let's try digital marketing agency. The problem: struggling to increase your website's visibility, agitate. Without proper SEO, your website might get lost in the sea of search results. Solution: our agency offers comprehensive SEO services to boost your website's ranking. Now, of course, when you're writing and putting these things, you wouldn't say problem, agitate, solution. Um, that's just a framework for you to work with while you're writing, but please make sure that you get rid of those three words before you publish a copy, before you send it to whoever you're creating it for. You just want to make sure you get rid of those. All right, so just a couple more, and then let's try creating our own. So, travel agency: dreaming of a vacation but overwhelmed by planning. Planning a trip can be stressful and time consuming. Our travel agency takes care of all the details so you can enjoy a stress free vacation. Did you hear all of them? The problem, the agitation, and the solution. And then let's do one last one before we start creating our own. So, an online grocery store. Running out of groceries but don't have time to go shopping? Grocery shopping can be time consuming and inconvenient. Order from our online grocery store and have fresh produce delivered right to your home. So, did you catch all of them? Problem, agitate, solution. So, let's create one of our own real quick. Okay, so let's just do a couple of our own. Um, there we go. Okay, so with email copywriting, I may say, are you overwhelmed with writing emails for your list day in and day out. Then to agitate, I may say there are 100 other things happening in your business at any moment. So it's easy to neglect sending emails to your list. Then, after not sending for a while, you stare at your computer because you don't know what to write. Then the solution let's say I can write. No, I'm a professionally trained email copywriter, and I can take those emails off your plate and send consistent emails to grow your list while you work on focus on the other parts of your growing business. And there we have it. Problem, agitate, solution. And then, of course, like I mentioned, be sure to take those off if you are sending those to a client or posting them on your own things. All right, so there we go. That's our first example. Let's do one more. So for, let's say, chef services, I know someone who is a chef. Let's say, do you let's say, does preparing delicious and nutritious meals for your family take forever? Okay. Does preparing delicious and nutritious meals for your family take forever? Having home-cooked meals is let's go back. Forever between grocery shopping, traveling back home with your prized food possessions. Preparing them, cooking them, and then cleaning after. Let's change this first. You grocery shop. Then you travel home. Travel back home with your prized food possessions. Prepare them. You clean them. Then prepare them. Then cook them. And then after all that, you still have to clean up. Solution. Professional chef will come to your home and with groceries for you and prepare your chosen meal so you can enjoy time with your family without worrying about cooking, and will also clean everything, including the dishes when we're done. Click the button to schedule. Now before spots are all booked up. All right, and there we go. And then again, don't forget to take off the problem, agitate, solution parts if you're sending this out to someone. And there you have it. Now, the PAS formula is probably the most popular and one of the most widely used copywriting formula, but that does not mean that it's the only one or it's the best for every single situation. So if you want to check out more about copywriting formulas, check out this video here.